The main challenge that Stoke-on-Trent faces is its older housing stock. It's Victorian and Edwardian terraced houses, which are 2 bedroomed and straight off the pavement.
Yeah, we're looking at quite traditional terraced housing, turn of the century, so just late Victorian. Single skin construction, i.e. it's a 9-inch brick wall with no cavity between, so that's why we term it traditional. Traditional brick with a plain clay tile roof.
Britain's housing stock's the oldest and least energy efficient in the Western world. Much of it dates back to the time in the Industrial Revolution and to a large extent hasn't been changed since. This means that a lot of people's homes are leaky, cold, energy inefficient. And with rising energy bills, this often leads to people living in what's called fuel poverty. Not to mention the fact that those carbon emissions that we use from heating our homes leak out into the atmosphere and lead directly to climate change.
We have had an issue in the local area with illegal loft conversions. We've got families who are very keen to stay in this neighbourhood because they've grown up in this neighbourhood, they like the facilities, they like the location, but the house size is perhaps not big enough for them. So first and foremost it was trying to provide bigger houses, but also it was showing that in this particular terrace, which had some unique features, that you could upgrade the energy efficiency to make them to very modern standards. So you're effectively buying a traditional house with all the benefits of a modern house.
Retrofitting, certainly on an area-wide basis, a neighbourhood, it can achieve quite significant benefits quite quickly, both in terms of carbon saving, bringing people out of fuel poverty, keeping communities together. I mean, the old fashion was to demolish large areas of housing and to rebuild, and with that means that communities disperse. People who've lived in proximity to each other for a long time fall out of contact. So there are real social, economic and environmental benefits to retrofitting.
The challenge is really, I suppose, in this context was to thermally upgrade them. We're looking at sort of improving the fabric, because obviously a single skin 9-inch brickwork wall isn't very thermally efficient. You know, you're going to transfer so much, or lose so much heat straight away to the outside. So we're looking at insulating that fabric, and principally the walls, and then obviously the floor, and then the roof. Where you've got tenanted properties or occupied properties, obviously it's difficult to put that insulation on the inside, and you tend to put it on the outside of the properties, which can create some issues. But here in Balfour Street, we had the opportunity of having some empty houses that we could address from the inside, and because we were looking at increasing the size of the properties by knocking 2 properties together, we had the additional floor area, so we could afford to lose 150, 125, 150 millimetres of space off the inside and front and rear walls. This street in Balfour Street was particularly interesting because it's got quite a unique architectural character, which is unique to the city, and which is principally through its lead covered domed bay windows, which are quite a grand feature that you'd probably find on a lot of the larger houses across the city, but not the modest terraces. So that straight away made the houses stand out. And then if you look even closer, you'll find lots of Greek key motif bricks up at the eaves, which are quite interesting, and decorative stone window sills and heads. Again, and if you look closely around the streets, lots of the terraces have got these features, but they're all slightly different, all subtly different, and there's sort of almost like a conscious design design decisions were made by the builders at the time, because they weren't designed by architects, they were designed by the builders and the craftsmen putting them together.
The real major risks of retrofitting are doing it badly and losing confidence amongst householders and businesses in the supply chain's ability to retrofit well. There's also a significant risk around traditional buildings, which form a very significant part of our national heritage, our culture, and we must fight against that, the temptation to undo thousands, hundreds and thousands of years of history by applying inappropriate materials.
It is pleasing to be involved in a project that actually changes properties from what they once were to what they can become, and it's been very well received, not only by the professionals but also the community themselves. Balfour Street is very much an exemplar project, so we've perhaps done a lot more to these properties than the normal person would be able to afford. But it does show with the fact that we've managed to sell the properties at a reasonable price for Stoke-on-Trent. that it is a product that people want and people can afford. I think the essential thing about any of these sort of projects is we all get very excited about them, we all like the projects to win awards, but ultimately, does the house fulfil a function for the family that lives in it? That's at the end of the day the most important thing. And when we're long gone and moved on, hopefully these houses will still be here in another 100 years and be satisfying the needs of a new family at that time. That's ultimately success, isn't it, at the end of the day?
The good news for organisations who want to retrofit is that there is expertise out there. There are people who've been doing this for 30, 40 years in terms of low energy, low impact retrofit. And we've brought those people together to form something called the Core Fellowship. Those fellows have developed a curriculum of training courses, masterclasses if you like, which is all about passing on the information that's been in their head, been gained through many years of painful experience, transferring that into the heads of those people who are about to get retrofitting now. So I'd encourage organisations who want to retrofit better to come and take part in our programmes, in our training courses, our masterclass sessions here at Core.